Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Tickle Me Comedy Club podcast. My name is Isaac Israel, and I'm here with comedian Anton Knight. We are sponsored. Look, Anton's laughing already. We're sponsored by. Today we're here in Color Studios. They do terrific video production and for a lot of the shows and the acts that come in town. And we're also sponsored by the Blue Zone Comedy Tour. And Dylan Billigaff is not here tonight, but he'll be with us next week. Blue Zone Comedy Tour, they do tours around the U.S., comedy tours around the U.S., and most of the comedians are comedians living with physical disabilities, and so they're sponsoring us as well. So thank you everyone for tuning in. A little bit about Anton. He is a favorite here in Las Vegas. I mean, he's performed at the Las Vegas Live, at Planet Hollywood. He's performed at the Laugh Factory, LA Comedy Club, at Valley's LA Comedy Club, at the Strat, and he tours around the West Coast, Ontario Improv, the world famous Comedy Store. And so he's here with us tonight.
Yeah, you mentioned the shit that I forgot I did. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I guess I did all that shit. Okay.
So I brought Anton in because when I first moved to Vegas, it was like 10 years ago, he gave me an opportunity, my first opportunity, to perform at an open mic here. And I guess my performance was so bad that the place closed down and now it's a strip club.
Oh, yeah.
What was the place, like Oracle or something?
Was that Oracle? Yeah, it was Oracle, man.
Yeah.
It was a strip club, and it changed into what we had it, and then after you performed, it went back to the strip club. They figured they would get more money with titties out. Yeah. Than you doing what you was doing. But it was fun.
People were smoking hookah while we were doing comedy.
Yeah.
It was a nice venue.
Yeah, it was a cool venue, man. It was a cool spot. That was like one of the second times that I was hosting the show. I started out hosting mostly before anything else. So yeah, I was just one of those, man, you want to be funny? Yeah, get the fuck up there. I'll let you get up there and see what happens.
But even back then, like a long time ago, you were hosting a comedy show, people are there, smoking hookah, hanging out, and you were just so natural and funny and just talking to the people, So I mean, where does all that come from?
Just life in general, man. Like I talk to people. Like I can't, as a host or as a comic, not acknowledge what's going on around me. So, if a person bombed, I got to get up there and talk about how the fact you just got up there and fucking bombed. We all seen it. So it's that, and just I grew up, playing the dozens and all of that, talking about people's mamas early because I was a fat kid, so I was a victim of a lot of bullying. And I didn't want to fight about it, so I had to talk about people's mamas. And then people laughed and they liked me. So that's why I started this shit.
So we talked about this before the podcast, but when did you first get up on stage? When did you first perform?
Oh gosh. Like the first time I performed. Okay, I got two first times.
Okay. So no.
I got two first times. My very first time, I was like 15, and it was in front of my church. They had a talent show thing. I went up and I did maybe 30 seconds of just something. It was terrible. People laughed because they didn't want to go to hell. It was a church function. But after that, my very first time actually doing stand-up was at Black Label.
Which is a place on Sahara, right? Was it Sahara or no? That's Red Label. So
that's Red Label.
Yeah.
Spring Mountain in Decatur.
Man, you did it in Chinatown.
Yeah.
You were performing in Chinatown the first time.
That was the only time.
But there were no Chinese people there.
There wasn't
no Chinese people watching comedy.
Yeah, but it was there the first time I actually got on stage at an open mic there. Shout out to Diaz Mackey, man, he was the first person to let me go up, man. I went up, and I wasn't horrible, but he made me work to earn my spot, man. I started off in real hard rooms to do, so that's what it was.
Yeah, that's what it was.
You gotta build tough skin doing this shit, because it sucks sometimes.
So, what's the worst room you ever performed in then?
I can't say I've had a I can, but I can't.
Dude, if you say it's one of my spots, I will be
No.
pissed.
I perform. The thing about you is that you don't have a comedy show anywhere. Like, I've done comedy shows that you've had in restaurants where people was eating eel and shark tail and shit, and I got up mid time. But the worst room to do comedy in, which is actually the best room, ironically, to do comedy in, is at Luna Lounge.
Okay, yeah, Mike P's spot.
Luna Lounge.
Mike P's a radio host.
Yeah. Shout out to him. One of the best and worst places to do comedy.
Yeah.
Because their crowd could not give a fuck about you at all. If you have about 8 seconds to make a motherfucker smile in there, and if you don't, it's a wrap. Oh, it's a wrap. I've seen seasoned comics come in there and just take the biggest L's. So, but I've come in there and I've done, and I'll be there like the shows every Tuesday, and I would go every Tuesday.
Yeah.
And there'll be times where I would do well and come the next Tuesday and do terrible. And at that point, I'm telling jokes in front of people that know me for being there. So y'all know I'm funny. But today, on this certain Tuesday, I decided not to give a fuck. So it is what it is. So that's why I can say it's the best and the worst room to do comedy.
No, I would agree because, and okay, you have to hit it out of the park in that room.
Oh,
because if you don't, if it's just mediocre and a little funny, then you have Mike P to deal with afterwards. Because Mike P, the radio host, and also the guy who runs the room, is a longtime comedian. Yeah. And so he'll come up, he's the host, he will just rip on your set for
the whole time.
For a good
and he'll call back your terrible shit. And he's done it to me. Mike is such an asshole, man. My big brother in comedy, love to death, but Mike is an asshole when it comes to that. He's done it to me. But that's a rule that either make or break you, man, for real. Especially this comedy shit. You gotta know what it feels like to bomb, especially when you've had so many successful shows and you think you're funny. Okay, come to Luna Lounge on Tuesday night. We'll see.
I've had like people, like performers on the Strip or even in downtown. They've asked me, hey, where can I go that has a crowd tonight? And like, there's nothing late. And I say, hey, why don't you go to Mike P's room? And these are people getting paid to be on the Strip. They're getting paid downtown, right? Yeah. They go into there, they bomb. And they're pissed at me. They're pissed at me, they're pissed at Mike. But I'm like, well, you should have brought your A game. Don't bring like,
You can't come in there with I'm a seasoned comedian and I have this set routine that I do that works everywhere that I go and I do. Fuck all that. They don't want none of that. They don't want none of that. So you just gotta be real when you come in there. If you can work out a joke, cool, but you gotta disguise your material in there. Like you can't just go like, some rooms you can do that. Luna, you can't.
You can't.
And you can't never do. I never work out new jokes in that one.
But it builds you.
It does. It builds your character, and it gives you what you need in there. You need to know what rejection feels like doing comedy. Because if you don't, you can do so many shows that are so great, and people at places where people come to laugh. So they're ready to just give you the benefit of the doubt. Right. I like his shirt. He's funny. Oh, he's got great stage presence and all that shit. Man, that shit don't matter in Luna Lounge. We had the microphone go out. We had the lights get cut off in the middle of sets and shit. So you just got to be able to deal with what's going on around you, period.
The cool thing though about Mike P is even though he'll rag on your set, like the following week or the week after, I'll ask him if I can go on again, and he'll go, yeah, come on, and then I'll ask him if I can bring people, and then he lets them go on stage and stuff like that.
Yeah, you bring people.
Yeah, it's like he doesn't want to bring them on stage, but he brings them on stage anyway because he knows he's gonna rag on them. The show.
And I have conversations with him. I'm like, really, why you about to put this dude up? And she'll be like, no, just see what he gonna do. So that's how it is, man. It's fun. I love it.
So, everybody has their own style. Everybody has their own way of thinking about like how I'm going to go there and how I'm going to be funny and stuff. Like, I mean, you don't have to share this if you don't want to on this podcast. But
Sure.
there's fans,
Yeah,
you know, here, and so like, what is it? What's Anton Knight's secret?
My
To
secret.
being super funny on stage all the time.
I feel the room out. You know, when I first started, it was like, I guess people call it like a ritual. It was like I never can sit down before I do a show. Like I'm always, I have like this built up energy.
Yeah.
So I'm always kind of like walking around or whatever, and I'm just kind of feeling the room or whatever. And I know I've told you, like, I never know what I'm going to talk about before I get on stage.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah.
Never know. Doesn't mean I don't write, doesn't mean that I don't have shit, but it's just that, okay, I'm going off of the vibe, you know, and I'm either ride that way or I'm gonna create my own. So it's just, I guess my ability to just be in the moment, you know, and just trust myself is, I guess it's a secret or whatever, but, you know, I go where the crowd leads, you know.
Yeah. So sometimes I look forward to your sets because like they're like these 3 bits that you have that I always look forward to, right? But I know you don't plan ahead of time, so I don't know if I'm going to hear the bits when I go see you, you know, or when you come to the club. So it's like I love the poetry bit, the fried chicken bit, you know.
Oh yeah, the fried chicken bit.
So okay. So I think Anton, when he was coming up in the comedy world, he would do rooms that didn't have comedians in there. It had like artists and poets and singers and things like that. And he's built, he like, because he got exposed to that, and he'd be like the only comedian performing in a room like that. Like he put together a poem, and now he used it in his comedy set. What was the poem again?
Okay, so what happened was, it was actually like a poetry and like R&B type show. You would think that I would have the poem memorized, but I don't. But what happened was the vibe was just so sexy in the room. And so I had to like break the monotony up. Because it's like, okay, here I am. I'm coming up. I'm supposed to be funny. I gotta be funny after somebody just did a whole 3 minutes of how they want to just fuck shit out of somebody and made it real romantic.
Yeah.
Right, so it was like some sexy shit. So I got up there with that whole same energy, that same vibe, and I did this poem about something that I really love.
Okay.
And that something was fried chicken. So I got on and I said, I was like, you know what? Keep this same energy. You know, everybody's in a loving mood right now. You know, I want to share with y'all something that I love. And so everybody was snapping and doing all the shit.
So, instead of talking, they snap.
They snapped. And so I went into it. I said, fried chicken, finger licking good. You're my favorite food, yet sometimes misunderstood. I eat you with gravy, potatoes, and a biscuit. And I think to myself, how much better could this get? I love you, fried chicken. You're the best by far. Sometimes I want you so bad I pull over and eat you in my car. They say too much of you is bad for my health, and that's a fact. But I'm addicted to you, fried chicken. I love you like a dope fiend loves crack. And that shit floored people. It made me laugh. I didn't know. I wrote that at the back of the room.
Yeah.
Show,
Right before you went on.
Yeah.
I think it's online. I think I saw that.
Yeah. That was years ago. That was back when I had dreads, man. Shit, that's a long time. I'm surprised I still have not memorized that. Every time I do that, I pull my phone out to read it.
And then you do act outs in your set, and they're so good. Like you do this act out with your son. Like your son is asking you what 14 times 7 is.
Oh yeah, trying to help my son with his homework. Yeah. He which I still can't help him with his homework. This whole like everybody wants to like school their kid from the house thing now. I can't do it. I can't do it at all. He asked me what like 9 times 17 was or some shit, and I was just like, nigga, you better sound it out. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I'm not that dad. Like, I can teach you how to talk about somebody's mama. I can teach you how to drive, and I can teach you what to say to a woman when they want to fuck you. But that's it. He's 11. You don't need to know that yet. But I couldn't help him with times tables. Anything past 12, I ain't got it. You know, you got a phone, look it up. Google what the fuck it is. I can't do it. You know, I hate that my son asks me questions I don't know the answer to because we Google it and we both learn something at the same time. You know, he'll ask me something, I'll be like, well, let's go to your phone. Let's figure it out together. You know, but it sucks because it's like now he knows that I don't know shit, so it makes him feel that he has a dumb dad. I don't like that at all. So I have to be like, okay, yeah, I was going to tell you that, but I wanted you to research it yourself so you can do it for yourself. Don't trust anybody else's information but your own.
Yeah.
So that's what I tell them to kind of save face in my heart, but I really didn't know.
How has, having a son affected your comedy?
Oh man, he's full of shit. Her laughter made me laugh. Like he's full of just so much, man.
Yeah.
Like his energy, his innocence, and all of that. Like we have fun. So I'm constantly like, I can't wait to tell people what the fuck you just did right now. Like, and he's seen me on stage. Like I've shown him different stuff that people have filmed and all of that. And he's like astounded. Like everything I do is like huge to him.
Yeah.
Which is great. You know, so he'll watch it and be like, Dad, you really made me laugh like really hard. Like, really? And I'm like, yeah, that's what I do. So get
So
ready.
you let him watch your stuff?
Some of it,
Yeah.
Some of it, I let him
stuff,
watch it.
yeah.
Some stuff that I do that, I was talking about his mama, I don't let him watch that. But other than that, yeah, he watches stuff. He's seen, he knows I'm on YouTube and all that.
So Anton, like you say that you're, you fill out the room, but let's say you have a big show. Let's say it's in a theater, or let's say it's the Laugh Factory Saturday night first show, 280 people, or let's say you're at a theater and you've done those Virginia Beach, the shows at Virginia Beach. You're like, what do you do? Like they're expecting an act. So what do?
I give them an act.
Yeah, but you still don't prep or anything?
I give people what they want, man. I can pretty much fill out, if this crowd wants crowd work, they want material. I'm a really good judge of where I'm a chameleon when it comes to that.
Yeah.
I can adjust to whatever crowd I'm in.
Okay, so when you're filling out the crowd, let's say you're the first person, or let's say you're the headliner. Like, what are you thinking in your head? How are you feeling them out?
I just gotta be funny. Like I see what they're laughing at, I see what they're not laughing at. If I'm opening up, I see what the host is throwing out there, what they're digging on with him or her or whatever. And
what if you go up? It's a cold room, no host. You're up first. What do you do?
I get up there and I do what I can.
And then you feel them out during your set.
Yeah. It only takes. If I make one person laugh. Okay. Laughter spreads.
Yeah.
So if I get that one person to laugh,
smart. Yeah.
It's gonna spread. I'm gonna keep working on that one motherfucker that's laughing, and I'm gonna make you laugh so hard that the next person next to you is gonna laugh. It's gonna work out that way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I made her laugh, so I'm trying to get them to right now to laugh. Like that's where I'm at right now. He's hiding it behind the camera. He wants to laugh. So laughter is just what it is, man. It spreads. When you hear somebody laughing, you wanna immediately know what they laughing at. What's so funny?
Yeah.
So
are you focusing on that person, continuing to talk to her, and then hopefully the other two will laugh?
Right. It's like okay, say I have a crowd of people and I'm only getting something from one section.
Yeah.
I'll just keep fucking
focusing on them, forget you guys.
And I'll put that energy there to make them keep laughing. That's going to make me continue to keep wanting to make them laugh.
Because you get energy from their energy.
So if I got to draw that just that little itty bit of blood from that little spot. And then eventually it works out.
Yeah.
You know, and if it don't, fuck it. They got to pay me anyway.
So, so what do you do? So
I got it. See, I got it. Yes. I'm out here.
So what about hecklers? Like, what do you do?
Oh, I love hecklers, man. Dude,
so what are your thoughts?
Destroy...
What are your thoughts when they start going at you?
Here's the thing. I really don't give hecklers a reason to go at me. Hecklers come in comics that are failing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If I'm doing a good job, you really don't get a heckler.
Yeah.
Every now and again you do, whatever. But I'm the type of person, okay, you want to make yourself a part of the show. I'm not only going to make you a part of the show, I'm going to make everybody next to you a part of what you want to be a part of. And I'm smart your whole table up.
Yeah.
You've seen it. Yeah. People have seen it. I go for blood. Like I've had people want to fight me after shows. I've had all kind of shit. Like you want to be a part of this shit, don't get it fucked up. I didn't start doing this.
You have the mind.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's the thing that I think that some comics fuck. You never ever give in to a heckler. Never.
Yeah.
I talk about motherfuckers so bad they done got kicked out of shows. You know what I'm saying? I've had people that gave you a ride to the show and make you walk home because I done fucked her up. Like, I don't fuck around.
So what are your thoughts on like crowd work? Like when you're hosting a show?
Crowd work is great. The thing about it is, as a host, you gotta be crowd work because you gotta get the crowd ready for your act. So it's not about you. You know, it's about you bringing your artist up to the best energy that crowd can give them in order for them to have a successful set.
Yeah.
You know, and I think a lot of hosts get fucked up because they out there performing.
Yeah.
Versus hosting.
Yeah, you gotta break in the room. You gotta get them. You gotta get them warm.
Ready.
Yeah, for that first act.
Exactly.
So if you're the first act, right? Let's say you're the first act. The host bombs, and the room is still cold.
Yeah.
So then
I gotta come out and acknowledge that y'all host wasn't shit, and that's what I'm gonna do. You know, and if he mad at that afterwards, oh well, because what's gonna happen is
he fucked you up.
Right.
He fucked you up. You're set up because they're not warm.
Is I acknowledge the fact that y'all hosts ain't shit. So now y'all laughing at the fact that y'all know the hosts ain't shit. Now y'all know what I know.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go up there, I'm gonna do what I do,
Yeah.
the host gonna get up, and he gonna try to go back at me, but it's too late now. Your first impressions are everything.
Yeah.
You know, I already got the crowd on my side. You might as well bring the next comic up. And the smart host will just bring the next comic up after the comic before them did a great set.
Exactly.
Don't keep trying to be funny after you fucked up.
Yeah.
You had your shot. Now, if the comic after me doesn't do well, now you get another shot.
You get another shot.
But until then, shut the fuck up, bring the next person up. I already got them ready for the next person.
Yep. That's right.
That's how that works.
That's how it works.
Levels to this shit.
So now, what's happening with your comedy now with all this COVID and everything?
My comedy is on quarantine right now. I haven't really done. Okay, so basically, you know, Issac is pretty much treating Vegas like Diddy did the studio and making the band. You keep opening it up, you keep shutting it down again, and we don't know where the shit is going. So I had some shows booked, and once you opened up the studio, I did a couple shows, then you shut the studio back down again, so I'm not doing it. But I'm just I'm steady, working, doing what I can. I tried to do the whole, go on Facebook Live and just but it's not the same.
Yeah, it's not the same because you're not getting the same reaction.
You need the energy. I can't do the little happy face emojis when I say something funny that float up on the phone. I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
I'm from the old school now. Like I've been at this over a decade, so I need a crowd of people. You have some places now that they'll still let you do comedy. And everybody gotta have a face mask on and all that, which is cool. I respect it. But just being on that stage and being with that crowd, it's a different kind of feeling. So right now I'm chilling. Everything calm down. I get back.
So it seems like right now we're stand-up comedy might be in trouble because everything is so politically correct right now, and everything you're saying, you know, people are watching everything you're saying. Comedians are being asked to apologize for stuff that they've said like 8 years ago. It's just this movement of like trying to say the right thing all the time, and people bring their cell phones to like comedy shows and they're recording. They're not supposed to be recording, and then it gets on the news and stuff like that. What do you think about all of that?
Amen. It is what it is. I don't really look at it as having to be politically correct or whatever. I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say. If I get in trouble for it, fuck it. I said it. It is what it is. Am I gonna apologize for it? No, tell me what I said. You know, not just anybody that has to actually apologize, whatever the case may be. But you know, I'm the type of person. I say what I mean what I say. You know, I said it. I'm entitled to my opinion, and you know, those opinions come with consequences, just like vice versa. You know, but you know, as far as that's concerned, and people filming, I've seen comics, you know, trip out with people filming with phones, and you had comics have people put the phone in the lockbox. You can't bring the phone in. I'm like, I ain't true. I ain't that big. So you want to film me and put me up and do a please give me the exposure. I mean, please film what the fuck I'm saying on stage so people can see that I'm funny. That's it. I'm not at the stage where I'm working out a new Netflix special and everybody got to put the phone in a little lockbox and do all that shit. I ain't film this shit. I don't give a fuck. Film it. Can't nobody. My jokes are so personal to me that you can't steal my shit. You know, that's the challenge as a comic. You don't want, you know, to put material out there that's just, you know, everybody's talking about. Everybody's talking about a certain trending something. Make your material as personal to you as you can, where when somebody hears it, they know, oh, that's Anton Knight. You know what I'm saying? Or, you know, that's whoever, that's such and such. So challenge yourself to do that before you just get out there and be like, yeah, what ladies at? Yeah, ladies, let me, you know, fellas, you know, I can take big shopping and she do like, nobody want to hear all that shit. You know, it's everybody's shit. You know, so make it personal. You know, you gotta peel back the layers of who you are in order to be a real comedian.
You ever have trouble doing that?
Sometimes, depending on the room, I'll hold back. You know, it just depends on what's going on.
How about on the subject matter? Do you ever have trouble holding back? Like, you're talking about your son's mother, or talking about your I didn't even share, and I don't know if you want me to share, but I didn't even share the fact that, you know, like, Anton he has like, he has two sides to him, you know. He's worked in corrections for a long time.
I work in law
but he's
enforcement.
also, he works in law enforcement, and so, but at the same time, you know, he's a comedian.
Yeah, I do both, because I got bills. That's just what the fuck it is. I got bills, and I pay child support. So, comedy ain't paying no money for none of that shit right now. So I had to get a real job. But no, I've been in law enforcement for 15 years now, man. So, you know, it is what it is.
Are you allowed to talk about some of that stuff, or
am I allowed?
Like,
it's
have
funny.
you? I don't know.
I've gotten in trouble
for saying something.
Really?
Like somebody found out? Like,
what happened was I did a bit
about
my uncle sucking dick for soup when he came to jail.
I know that bit.
So it was around when I first started working there, and my uncle, like, I was just like, you know, you ever had family member get arrested, you know, for anything. Like my uncle, like I got the job as, you know, a corrections officer. My uncle get arrested, you know, on purpose just so he could come to jail and try to get extra shit because I worked there. And so he came in, and you know, I was like, you know, my uncle come to jail so much that the police let him sit in the front seat. And he could play with the siren and shit. So he came in and looked at me and seen me. He was like, nephew, let me go ahead on and get a couple of extra soups, baby. It's cold out here, baby. I need some soups, baby. It's cold. And I was just like, look, if you want extra shit, you know, this is my job. You know, I gotta be professional. You know, if you want extra shit in here, you just gonna have to suck somebody dick like everybody else that comes in to jail for extra shit. You know, and somebody heard that I work with, because it ended up it got put up on YouTube or whatever, and I ended up going through like this long ass investigation of
An investigation?
Yeah, they investigate. Yeah, it was crazy. They had to get like city attorneys and like all this shit. It was crazy. And what it was like they couldn't tell me not to do it. I never said, what jail I worked at. I never said it. But it was a joke. It was a joke, and it got taken so far left, and they were just like, who's your uncle and when did it happen? Whatever. I'm like, dude, I was born and raised in Vegas. I can tell y'all every family member, every friend that I get that come in and out of jail, y'all wouldn't let me work nowhere in this motherfucker. Like, people know what I do. You know what I'm saying? They don't give a fuck. They know who I am. Like, I don't give a fuck. I say what I want to say. I do what I do. I do my job. I come to work. Leave me the fuck alone. They know I did not do comedy. I've had, officers come to shows. I've had inmates that have come to shows and be like, yo, you one of the funniest motherfuckers in the jail. I didn't know you really did this shit. So it's funny.
So you make them laugh? You make the inmates laugh?
Yeah, I have to. I make killers laugh. Shit. I want to make a killer want to kill. Shit. I want to make this nigga laugh so we can all go home. Like, I don't fuck around.
Have you ever done a show in a prison?
No, they won't let me.
What? They won't let you?
They won't let me.
God damn.
Cause it's too compromising. It's one of those. They still have to see me as.
There's a circle there.
Now, if I ever stop working there, when I get to where I can do it, I do it all.
What if I found another facility that you don't work at? Then you would.
I would do that shit in a heartbeat. You pay me money to do that shit. I do that shit in a minute. They just can't cavity search me. I don't want to get cavity searched. I'm not stripping down. I don't trust that. Because when you leave, then I'm still in there. I'm not dealing with it. I would definitely do it.
Right.
Yeah, it was a show in front of a crowd of killers. I'm scared of that shit.
You literally killed.
Yeah, I killed you, killers.
I killed you with some jokes with you.
That would be my closer. Killed you, killers. Give me a plastic microphone so you can't shake nobody.
Shaking people with a plastic microphone.
Yeah, shit.
Oh my God.
Give me a karaoke microphone. She is dying, man.
Okay. So with this COVID, there might be a second wave coming, and then people are saying it might be even worse, like the looting and the protesting might be even worse. As a law enforcement official, are you what do you think about that? Are you worried more? And how does your comedy mind deal with it?
Man, I ain't worried about that. I really not. I don't worry about shit till shit happen to me. Honestly. That's
how most people think.
Not even that, because that just makes it really sound dismissive.
Okay.
And I don't want to sound like I don't give a fuck. Like I do. But the thing about it is when it comes to, especially like the COVID thing and all of that, man, it's the flu, people. It's the flu. You feel yourself, your throat itching. Take some Theraflu, man. Lay your ass down.
Take some vitamin
Wash
C
your hands.
and zinc.
Exactly. Get some Theraflu and some Crown Royal. Make your ass a hot toddy and shut the fuck up. Just wear your mask, wash your hands and your ass. You'll be fine.
Turn the heat up to 90.
Exactly. Just sweat that shit out and shut the hell up with all this bullshit. Like they tell you, okay, you can't come in some place unless you wear a mask. Wear a mask. So what? Is it stopping people from getting it? No. Is it stopping people from spreading it? No. But if you feel sick, stay your dumb ass at home till you feel better. Take a multivitamin. Take some fucking, what's the shit that you rub on the take the vapor rub. Rub that on your chest. Sweat that shit out, man. Like it's the goddamn flu. Like that's it. It's more unemployed people right now because of this shit than it is people that died from this shit. So shut the hell up, man. Just feel better and drink till the shit passes. That's it. I had the shit already. I went on a cruise in March and came back fucked up. I wasn't going to the hospital. Fuck that. Just Theraflu, some Crown Royal. Sweat that shit out. And I was okay.
Wait,
about 9 days.
Okay, so Hey, so during that time, did you see anyone? Like, when you were sick, did you see anyone like during like the next 14 days? You know, after
No, I stayed at home. Like I had it when like all this shit like hit hard, where there was no toilet paper nowhere. Like the grocery store was just looking like great. Like so I had it then. So I was just at home. So I took medicine. And I got better. Yeah. That's it. That's it.
What do you think about these COVID parties? The COVID parties, like all the, like 20, 30-year-olds are
like they all together.
So what happens is like someone has COVID, right? So like a bunch of like their friends that are in 20s and 30s, they all go to the place and they all have party, they're all drinking, they're all hanging out. What do you think of that?
That's a thing?
That's a thing. It's COVID parties. COVID parties are.
Get the fuck. That's
Have you been to a COVID party?
Have
you been to a COVID party?
You know he is.
No comment. He said no comment.
Oh, he said no comment.
Stefano, have you been to a COVID party? Oh!
Yeah, I didn't know that was a thing.
Wait, so there's one person, like what happens? Do they all do they stay away from him? Do they hang out with him? Like, what's happening?
Well, the party I went to wasn't specifically a COVID party. It was just a party that happened during COVID, but...
He's protecting himself.
I like politically correct.
Protecting himself. Like his friends are going to see this.
The actual COVID party is so everybody can catch it and then build the herd immunity, which is what they're calling it, and then they can all just like let it pass.
That's some white people shit.
Man.
That sounds
man. I thought the reason why you did it was like just like a fuck you to like, people are saying, oh yeah, COVID, whatever. I thought that was the reason, but is it really the reason that they want so that they build an immunity to it?
Yeah. The one I went to was more of like a kickback. It wasn't like
that's what I call it now.
Did you know?
I've never known the difference. I've never known the difference. It's a kickback, it's not a party. It's just people doing shit that you can do at a party, but it ain't a party. The kickback is you doing what you do at a party, but sober.
Dude, I don't know any of this. Seriously, we're around the same age, but I don't know any of this. Like, I go to the gym, people say, yo, I'm going there, I'm going to get swole. I'm like, swole? I don't know.
Oh, you know, older than me.
No, okay, here's another one. Woke. I don't know. I thought woke was a term that black people used to describe white people who understood stuff. I didn't, now, it's like woke is like hippies are just using the word woke to talk about everything. Like
it's being used out of context now.
Okay. So you agree? That's what's meant
once white people started saying, I know. We had
women that go.
Right.
Like women with the yoga pants and they say yoga woke on the back of the
head. Stop that, bro. Stop it, white people. That's dumb. I thought woke just meant, when you were asleep and you opened your eyes.
That old, come on.
I'm awake. I'm not only woke.
My white friends will say woke. I'm like, what the hell is woke?
You can't hear it from white people. You're not going to understand it right. It's not going to make sense.
So white people stole from black people. That's what happened.
It's like when white people started saying bling bling. Like, we just completely stopped fucking with it. Yeah, we just quit fucking with it.
Now what happens when you see a black person say bling bling? Like, what do you think of them?
If there's anybody still saying bling bling in 2020, shoot yourself twice.
Because they ain't woke. That's they ain't woke.
Yeah, please die today.
Oh man.
I'm so glad I'm being
Listen, guys, this is only a sample of what Anton can do. Tickle Comedy Club is going to be open up again in the fall, and we want all you guys to be there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We're going to have a temporary location until the governor allows, phase 4, whatever. But we're going to
do a Secret Service comedy show. Yeah, that should be somewhere in the alley somewhere.
Yo, Anton, we're doing the show at your house tonight.
Yeah.
You're the headliner and the host.
Yeah, I gotta go through the kitchen to get in and shit.
Oh man, but I want to thank. It's the end of the podcast, but I want to thank you for you know, coming out and doing the podcast. And, you know, we're going to have the shows in the fall. We're going to have Anton there.
Yeah.
And I hope you guys come out.
Thank you for always paying me on time. Always close.
Oh, wait, so what happens, like, what do you do when the bookers can't pay you on time or they can't pay you that day? What do you do?
I whoop their ass.
No, really, what do you do?
I whoop their ass. I'm serious. Nah, I usually try to get at least half my money up front.
Okay.
I don't trust you. I'll be like, I need a deposit. Like, period.
Right.
Yeah, I had to learn that, hey, I'm worth a deposit. I ain't just gonna wait for you to count what you made at the end of the night. Fuck you. I done told the jokes already.
Anton, what had happened was...
Yeah. Yeah. I will beat the shit out of you.
On that note, on that note, you know, we want to thank In Color Studios. We want to thank the Blue Zone Comedy Tour for sponsoring us. Comedian Anton Knight, folks. I'm Isaac Israel. Dylan's not here, but see you next week.
I don't even know what camera I'm supposed to be.
Just the